tell the truth, and shame the devil. I love being black. You already know what it is. Live, uncut, unedited. Tell the truth.
And what?
And shame the devil.
I love being black. All right, people, come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in, people. Come on in. Yeah. Come on in, people. Come on in. Come on in. Good show. We're talking about local news. What's up, Doc? How you doing? How you doing, Doc?
I am well. How are you?
I'm hanging on in there. Hanging on in there. Just glad to be live. Be alive. That's all. I tell you, with all the haters out here, they hate us, but they following me. uh, uh, I got the haters. They checking in. Haters checking in. Come on in, haters. Huh?
Don't come. Don't check on me.
The haters. They coming on in. Come on in, haters. Live uncut, unedited. You already know what it is. Just tell the truth and shame the devil. That's what we do.
You already know what it is. Live, uncut, unedited. Tell the truth.
And what?
And shame the devil.
All right.
I love being black.
I love being black. I love being black, people. Come on in. 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 All right, we're going to talk about local news. We definitely we're going to talk about Dalton just a little bit, but we're going to talk about local news. We got a lot of things that's going on, people, in our areas. Those of us that live in the city, you got a lot of people out here claim they from Chicago. They do a lot of lip boxing on here. Yeah, a lot of lip boxing.
Helen.
All right. What's going on, people? We're going to welcome aboard, Helen. We're going to talk about a lot of local news. We're going to talk about a lot of local news we got. We definitely, Helen, did you hear about Lori Lightfoot coming to Dalton?
I did.
Okay, that's official. So I'm going to let you guys know that is official. That's not fictitious. And I'm going to play a clip of that. Play a little clip of that real quick. And let people see that. Because Lori, she, man, I don't know what that's going to mean for Dalton. I don't know. I don't know if this is going to be a good thing, a bad thing. And, but
people here, that people in this village want something different, want to go in a different direction. And I want to assure you that it's for you that I am here. And I will do my utmost, if this motion is passed, to make sure that I serve you with integrity. I also want to acknowledge and thank the trustees who are here. And thank you for your confidence in me to conduct a thorough and timely and independent investigation into the matters outlined in the motion regarding Mayor Tiffany Henyard and her administration. As someone who's made good governance the cornerstone of my public service career, I recognize maintaining the trust of those you serve and making decisions in their best interest is absolutely essential. The residents of Dalton deserve nothing less than a government that is fully accountable, responsive, transparent, and effective stewards of your precious tax dollars. People here,
All right, y'all hear that? Did you hear that, Helen? Helen.
Yeah, I did. I heard that. I actually watched the board meeting
Oh, you watched?
online.
Okay, cool. So they still officially got a hire, right? Pay her. So, so
I think they did hire.
I
I
mean,
think they did hire. The board approved it,
okay,
and was from my understanding from watching the board, they will have intervals where she will check in, like the first check in to see what she has discovered or uncovered will be at 30,000. And so they then have the opportunity to cut ties with her if the board feels that she really hasn't uncovered anything more than, I guess, what they have. So
wow. I mean, I'm asking. I mean, I'm not a supporter of Tiffany, so I would just want to let people know. Um, what is this supposed to bring? This investigation? What is it supposed to bring to light? What's the purpose of it? I'm asking.
so for me, I'm just let everybody know that I am a supporter
Okay.
of Mayor
Okay.
Tiffany Henry.
Okay.
I, I don't know exactly what. I know she's supposed to look into the financial, some questionable contracts, some no bid. It's the no bid. Some no bid contracts concerning that opera money, which is the American Rescue money. That money Dalton got, like I think $1.2 million from the government. That's the COVID money. And so I think with that, the board was unpleased that, please forgive my voice because I'm still kind of recovering from the flu, but they wasn't pleased that she got these contractors and the contractors wasn't approved by the board. So I know that's the issue that they're having. Now, they keep saying that Dalton is in the hole over budget by like $1 million. I don't know if that's true because I haven't seen anything concrete. They also have an issue with her not releasing credit card statements and just financials in
Okay.
general.
Well, let me ask you a question, Helen. Now, if they can't get this information, what makes you think Lori Lightfoot is going to be able to get the information? That's what I understand. I mean, somebody help me out here. Somebody help me out.
Right. Yeah. At this point, and I don't want to seem biased because I do support her.
Mm-hmm.
I think that all of this is sensationalism and like a political witch hunt. I've watched the board meetings. I even watched their campaign. You know, they were the dream team.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them that's going against her now,
Mm-hmm.
all of them ran on the same ticket together. So once she was elected, I know that they was not pleased that she brought on Dorothy Brown as a consultant. She ended that contract for that relationship with Dorothy Brown. So, like I said, I've watched the board meeting. I've all the board meetings. They're all on YouTube, and she have extended an olive branch to them. They, for whatever reason, refused to work with her. And it was something. So that's like really the basis of it. I do know that I was watching a meeting tonight. The citizens do have issues with the police department, and probably rightly so. Their issues with the police department could be valid. I'm not disputing anything that the residents are saying. I think that the board of trustees are, for them, it's that they're using the residents, and I really think that this is a political witch hunt. At one Dalton board meeting, the trustees, the four trustees, Trustee House, Tammy Brown, Trustee Belcher, and Trustee Norwood, well, they walked out the meeting and went right next door to the bar. And residents wasn't pleased with that. So, they've created this climate against her because I know they were saying they didn't get some financials. Well, the financials she had switched from paper to electronic. And they refused to use the electronic method to pull up to look at financial statements, credit card statements. They refused to do that. I think they wanted this to stay in this old method where, all of this paper is used. So, it's a lot. I think that they may have some of their claims may be valid with her not refusing to work with them, but that's definitely because of some of the things that they refuse to move on. So, that's my,
Okay.
synopsis in
That's
the
that's
nutshell.
cool.
So,
I mean, it's a lot going on. I remember from the beginning, you know, I will publicly say I don't think
I know you used to go out there
all the
and
time. Right. I mean, I'm
you've had
still
some experience.
right.
Mm-hmm.
I had some experience. I wouldn't say everything that she's doing is bad, but I have some questions on certain things. And
Mm-hmm.
by
Mm-hmm.
her being a black woman, I really don't openly blast her and do all that. You don't really see that on my page with her. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, you see a lot of YouTubers
Right.
blasting and all that. I mean, it's what it is.
Yeah.
I hate to see a sister go down, but I don't. I mean, she had a good interview, but she got caught in the lie on the Roller Burris show,
Mm-hmm.
Roller Martin show.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot. It's a lot of pressure on her, and so I think more so
Mm-hmm.
what they have on her is like ethics charges. More so than anything. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm figuring like if Dalton
Yeah.
is in debt, y'all hiring Lori Lightfoot for look my money for. I'm sorry, I got my little change. Y'all hiring Lori Lightfoot for
Mm-hmm.
$400 an hour. Do you think that's pretty?
Right.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. And y'all claiming she's spending money on trips and
And
all that, but then y'all turn around spend $400. I don't know. I don't. I kind of like stayed out of it. I bagged up out of it.
mm-hmm.
I bagged out of it. It was just too much for me. I let the doubt.
And then
Go ahead.
they hired their own lawyer. I believe his name is Olson. They hired their own lawyer. And just a little background on him, his partner is doing the exact same thing in Soul Village. That village is in an uproar. The same thing that's going on in Dalton is going on in Salt Village with trustees against the mayor, and this guy Olsen, who is the attorney for the trustees, well, that's his partner in Salt Village. Both of these are black villages, with majority black population. And then something else, it was a lot of YouTubers that was there at that
Mm-hmm.
meeting
Yeah, I heard
today.
about it.
Yeah, and we know what they're after:
Mm-hmm.
sensationalism for their channel.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's gotten, and and even with the trustees want to hire Lori Lightfoot. Why would you? They have all these frivolous lawsuits. People just filing lawsuits. Now, they're saying that their FOIA requests are not being granted. That could have some validity to it. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know.
Okay.
I haven't seen paperwork where they have filed
Right.
FOIA
Because I believe
and then it wasn't granted.
it's a lot of things we don't know. I do talk to a lot of Dalton
Right.
residents that know what's going on, and
Hmm.
the most
Hmm.
people that I have spoken to about Tiffany,
Hmm.
they don't like her. They don't like her,
Hmm.
and they speak ill
Hmm.
of her. Then I do have some people that speak well of her.
Hmm.
I do have that, and I'm
Hmm.
like, man, it's a lot going on out here. So, you know,
Hmm.
I'm what I'm doing now, Helen. I'm basing things on facts. I'm not jumping out the gate
Right.
no more like I used
Right.
to. I've learned through experience,
Hmm.
um,
Absolutely.
and I'm just basing everything on facts. A lot of people say that Tiffany's going.
Yeah.
If the feds investigating Tiffany, why would they call Lori Lightfoot in? I mean, I don't. I don't know. Maybe it's me, y'all. Dr. D, you got something to say about this? I know you don't really get into that, but it's
I actually do, but I don't have nothing to say about it right now.
okay. Okay, cool. Okay, so you know,
Hmm.
um,
Hmm.
it's a lot going on. It's definitely a lot going on, and we hear rumors. Spend too much money, security detail. I mean, they
And
had.
see,
Go ahead. I'll say this, Helen.
for me, hmm,
I'll say this. They did have a problem with that one officer, the way she handled Alexis Wilson. Uh, they had a problem with
absolutely.
her, the way somebody called anonymous. If you call
Hmm.
anonymous, I'm not taking a phone call. If you call anonymous, I'm not taking a phone call. Alexis Wilson. Who else they had a problem with? They had a
Hmm.
problem. Let me see. With that, let me tell you what else. It's just three things that they had a problem with. One, I remember Alexis Wilson because I
Hmm.
was on that protest.
Yes.
Um, they did.
Hmm.
We did go in front of Tiffany House in protest because I was a part of that. What else they had? They had a
Hmm.
problem with the policeman getting paid all them hours. That was thing. Then they
Hmm.
had a problem with a lot of businesses wasn't getting their license for their business. They have a problem with that. We see the
Hmm.
retail. These are things that's out, just blatantly out in the open. Okay. Even with that
Yes.
interview she did with that newsman, I think it was Channel 5 or one of them channels. She lied about
Hmm.
Vegas. I mean, public, and she want to roll in margin. I mean, these are some obvious things. Now, I'm not saying everything
Hmm.
Tiffany have done in Dalton is bad. Now, I would never say that.
Hmm.
Then I was hearing two people saying that the ice skate rink, she shouldn't have done that because I mean that's just a flop. I mean, that's just that. I mean, these are the things that I'm hearing.
Hmm.
That she's firing a lot of people. Um, People that I guess started with her. So it's two sides to every story.
Hmm.
What else is saying?
Absolutely.
Um, so I don't want to get on here and bash Tiffany like that. So I'm just going by what the public
Hmm.
is saying, when I talk in private, stuff like
Hmm.
that. So
Yes.
that's all I had to say.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean,
I definitely do believe that she handled the Alexis Wilson case wrong. I I believe that. I believe that she definitely handled that wrong. Um, the ice skating rink, from my knowledge, was not paid for by the village. There was a lot of donations because the trustees would not approve of that. They didn't approve of it. And so there was a lot of donations that came in that paid for the ice skating rink and the roller rink.
Oh, I got one more other thing too, Helen. I got one more other thing too. I think we got two calls. I think one hung up. We got one. One other thing about that non-for-profit cancer thing. She lied about that too as well. She didn't know people was making stuff. She blatantly lied about that. I mean, that's what politicians do, lie. I'm not making no excuse for her because there's nothing in the game for me. You know, I don't live in Dalton. I don't own property in Dalton. So, me and Tiffany, I know Tiffany personally, but we have not talked since these allegations come along. So, hey, you know, I'm just looking for far off. You know, I see certain things, but go ahead, Helen.
Yeah. And I want to speak on the businesses that was whose licenses wasn't renewed. Well, this one guy, the Larry guy with the U-Haul, there was an interview where he stated that the FBI had gotten in touch with him and was questioning, telling him that they was investigating. Well, come on, Martin, we know the feds don't do that. You know, now his facility, and I know this personally because I know some promoters. And if I mention names, you would know them too. They promote parties, and so during COVID, when everything was shut down, they promoted and had parties in his facility. You know, and his facility is supposed to be a U-Haul. You know, truck. But yeah, you know, and I know, you know, I got a lot of little nieces and nephews, you know, and they kind of, you know, out there.
I mean, and I understand we all.
They went to some of those parties during COVID. They went to some of those parties at that place. You know, so you know that I do have. I'm not gonna say first. Well, I'm gonna say first-hand knowledge because I know some promoters. I know one, and if I mention their name, you definitely would know who it is. But
please don't mention their name. Please don't mention their name.
Places,
yeah, we'll talk offline. Don't do because I don't want nobody to say I'm coming at them.
Right. Yeah. I dare not do that. You know, we could talk about it offline.
Right.
I definitely would not do that.
Okay.
But yeah, they, you know, was throwing parties there because that's how they was getting their money, promoting parties around the city, mostly in the south suburbs, because they could get away with a lot. And so when COVID came and shut down, they didn't have no money. So that place definitely was used for parties during COVID.
Perfect. Let's see what this other caller have to say. Hey, caller 512 area code.
Martin, I don't know how I'm starting to listen to you all over again at night. This is Latrice in Texas. You all be having so much going on that is interesting. I cannot stop listening.
Oh, wow.
But I want to say something about the ARPA and what's going on with the young lady in Dalton. All over the country, and even here in Austin, Texas, I live in the capital city in Texas, they utilize ARPA funding to literally set up many people. Because when ARPA funding was given out, the majority of that money was given because of the crises that people were experiencing due to the COVID shutdown. And they didn't give a lot of instruction about what all ARPA funding could be used for. They gave much latitude to those people that were administering those funds. And so if there was questions about those funds that would happen later, after they had been expended, those officials who had given out those funds were still telling people, well, hey, it's okay if you do this with the funds, when in actuality, now they're turning around and prosecuting the hell out of people for that. That's happening here in Texas too.
So you saying?
And so I think that.
Go ahead.
What I'm saying is that there, if people really didn't know what the full rule was in order to utilize those funds, people felt that they had a little bit more latitude and discretion to do some things to keep people in business or to extend funds to people who may have been without, that were small businesses. They were given for ARPA funds, had given people guidance that you could have this discretion to do something. Now, if people abuse that, that's a whole nother issue. But I think it's really messed up that that the feds are going after people when they really didn't give clear and concise instruction on what all these ARPA funds were for.
Wow. So
I'm a director for, a nonprofit. And so, and some of those things that I received through the city and even through the county, we had specific things like, for instance, I applied for, I'm just using something hypothetically, but I applied for $40,000 or $140,000 and decided that everybody who was, had been to prison and maybe they were out on parole and they needed help on their rent. I mean, we were dispersing money, like $1,500 in lump sums in cash money to our participants so that they could pay their rent or pay for their car note or whatever. And we didn't get sunk with the other group that got sunk because they were on a witch hunt for this particular person that ran this entity. So I guess what I'm saying is that if they have a reason to pursue you, the ARPA fund is a way for them to get you. And that's real talk.
Mm-hmm. So my thing is, my thing with Tiffany, I mean, I like Tiffany, but I don't agree with some of her tactics and all that. And I mean, I had a relationship with her as far as knowing her personally. You guys know that, those that follow me. But I'm just more laid back on this now because I don't have a dog fight in it, really. I know Tiffany have changed because she's not the same person that I met a long time ago. Hope she's listening. But, I'm not mad at her. But, the people in Dalton, the ones I spoke to are very disappointed in her. Now, yes, Tiffany have made some mistakes, some publicly, but I've been told that I remember when they was trying to recall her. That didn't work. You remember that, Helen? They were trying to recall her. That didn't work.
Yeah.
But I was upset with Tiffany when the statement that she made about Alexis Wilson, the young lady got killed by the police. I was definitely upset about that. I really was upset about that. Go ahead.
Well, I don't really know her. I just, I've seen her because somebody styles her that I'm familiar with. But what I feel about all people who become elected officials, they lose their damn mind when they get in office.
Yeah.
And a lot of them forget who they are and who they were. Because the perks and and all of the fanfare and they have name recognition now changes a lot of who they are and why they went into office and the constituents that they promised that they were going to help. And that happens to many of them. And Lori Lightfoot was actually in Austin while she was mayor of Chicago. And so I don't understand them hiring her for an investigative leg in this. That doesn't seem right. They didn't want her in Chicago at one point, so why would they hire her to go out there and do that? That seems crazy to me.
Mm-hmm.
And it also seems suspect.
Yeah, that's what I said.
And so, that's just my thought. And I'm enjoying the show. I just wanted to add my 2 cents in about what I know about ARPA funding and dealing with the feds on that.
Okay.
And that the same thing that's being experienced in Illinois is being experienced here in Texas.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question too. Now, when the feds do an investigation, they don't really make a public announcement. Hey, we're investigating this organization and stuff like that. Is that how it works?
No, I've never. I mean, most people know when the feds are on the ground, in their, especially if there's something that's been reported that's inappropriate. That's somebody inside that's done that leak, because they aren't going to nose around. If there's something that's gone wrong with the funds or whatever, that has to be somebody that has care and custody over it, that has notified them. And even if it's not somebody directly within the city of Dalton, it could be somebody that they pissed off that they didn't give money to. That's the reality of it. When you're dealing with federal funds, somebody can just make up something, but once they start getting on that paper trail, it's hell to pay. And even if she didn't directly touch those funds or sign up, she is over all of the people who administer that. So she has full responsibility for any misappropriation of dollars.
Also, I'm thinking of another thing.
So Martin, let me
go ahead.
Martin, real quick, let me make this clear about the opera funds. The funds were used, and the board, she put it before the board. The board approved the funds to go back to the residents. The funds were used for residents to get new windows and roofs. Also in Dalton, they have issues with flooding. And so it went toward, okay, if you have issues with flooding, your basements, your pipes, which the city took care of. But, if you had flooding in your yard or your basement, so the board approved the funds to be spent for those purposes or reasons. What the board is having issue with is the vendors not being approved by the board. Tiffany is a person that wants to get things done. And sometimes government, with all its red tape, it will slow the process up. But she wanted to give back to the residents. So now, no, she didn't. All the opera money is there. You can see that this is what residents came in, and that the board know, or the citizens know. They know that they got roofs, windows, and basements taken care of. What the board is having issue with, like I said, is she did not take the vendors before the board to have a vote on it.
So
were the vendors supposed to be, was that a part of their agreement when the board said that they could use this money to make the repairs and stuff, that there had to be vendors that was on a vendor contracted list? Were the vendors supposed to be on a contracted list or no?
I don't believe that they have a contracted list, but the board wanted the vendors to come, or a list of the vendors that they were using, or that she was using.
So
they were all small time vendors. So yeah.
So the protocol.
So that's an issue.
The protocol is that the vendors should have came through the trustees as well. Is that what you're saying,
Been
Helen?
Approved by the board.
Yeah,
yes.
Right. Okay. That's what.
Yes, they should have been approved. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But was that? But I guess my question about that again was when they approved for the money to be used for that, was a part of that whole approval that whoever you get to do these repairs has to be vetted by this board or come before this board before they're able to be paid to do the work?
Now, you know what? I don't know. I don't know that.
Because if that's not a part of the clause or one of the part of the conditions, then how is she wrong for that?
See, I can't answer that question because once they started going out and the work was getting done, the vendors was doing the work. The board then wanted to hold up the funding and not pay the vendors because their reason for not wanting to pay the vendors was because the vendors hadn't been approved by the board. Now, if that was to be a stipulation or a clause when they approved on how the ARPA money was to be spent, I can't say that. I don't know.
See, it's a lot of stuff for us outsiders looking in. We don't know, but we know certain things, that probably wasn't done right.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm cautious of what I say. I try to be on point what I say, like I said publicly, I'm not a supporter of Tiffany. I know Tiffany, I was there when she won. I was glad that she's won. I congratulate her and all that. But when there's a lot of stuff was going on, I said, well, let me just take a step back, because I just, I'm going to give a benefit of doubt. I mean, I know people that know her personally, and it's just like, even, even with the cop pay, even she fell out with me because she felt like I put her address out there when we was on live and all. I was just that video. So that's what I heard she was hot with me at, but she had my phone number. She could have called me, but it is what it is. I'm doing, I come to video, Helen, that's what I do. I didn't have no idea where she lived at and all that,
Yeah.
So I didn't have no idea, but it is what it is. I mean, you got to, I mean, this is the territory. You're a politician now. And another thing I didn't like, she did, if she lose the Thornton Township position, it goes back to 50, but she cut it into 25. So I didn't like that. I felt that was kind of deceptive, and so I mean, she only knows why she did that. I can imagine why she did that.
Right.
So, and I will say this, she did serve 2 terms as a trustee. That I do know. She did do that, and
I think she was very good at a trustee because Martin, you used to videotape all her rallies that she was having. And I think another issue.
I have a question, Helen.
Yes.
My question is Dr. Davis. My question is, did the board approve for her to go to Vegas?
Now, I'm going to say this. I don't. About the.
Hold on, one mic. Go ahead, Helen. Go ahead.
I don't know if the board. From what I understand, the Vegas trip was some type of impact. I can't say. I can't say yes or no, and I can't say if that trip should have been approved by the board. I don't know that. I know that they do have what you call like professional development trips that some politicians do go to. I don't know who paid for those trips. I don't know if the board should have approved of that trip or not. So I can't say. I don't know that.
Right. So somebody said, Martin, you backstroking. No. I public made it said I don't support Tiffany. I mean, this is what I'm saying is I base my talk show on facts. One thing about me, I'm basing on facts. We talk about it, Helen, and I'm just one thing about me, I'm not confused. I'm not playing both sides. I do not support Tiffany, but that don't mean that a person that supports Tiffany, I can't talk to him or what I'm talking. No, it's not. That don't how it works. How it works. I mean, it's a lot of things I see, but I don't support Tiffany out there in Dalton.
Or that you should blast her all over the place.
Right.
You don't have to do that.
Right.
and jump on the bandwagon like everyone else is doing. And another issue that I want to put out too, that people have an issue with, and that is her holding the two positions. The position as mayor, I'm not sure what that salary is, but also she was appointed and voted in as Thornton Township supervisor, and I believe that position is like $250,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
She was voted in that position. She won her mayor's position, and it's not a conflict of interest. So it's okay for her to hold both of those positions. Another issue that people also have with, okay, she's ghetto, the way that she talks, they don't like her dialect.
I can't believe you said that, Helen.
They don't.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I have to put it out there because I see it. That's what, she ghetto. Oh,
She
she
is.
this, she that. I have to see it, and if she is, then she'll grow. And then what is ghetto?
You know what? Let's
Define exactly what ghetto is.
You know what we normally do, Helen? Let me
Huh?
say this. I learned this from Marcus. Most people, when they say something is ghetto, they compare it to white people. If white people don't do it, so it's ghetto. That's our standard of ghetto.
Oh.
It's just like a woman walking around with a bonnet on her head. If white people don't do it, it's ghetto.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where we get that term.
Okay.
That's I'm telling you, because a lot of times, yeah. Now listen, we can say whatever we want, but Tiffany be fighting, don't she? Be fighting and fussing. Okay.
She do.
She be fighting. Now you got to give her that credit.
Definitely a fighter.
She definitely is a fighter. Again, people, I do not support Tiffany here, so I'm just letting y'all know I do not support her at all. But I can speak of a good points and all that, what's going on and like that. So I can.
Absolutely.
So I don't want nobody thinking I'm on here flip-flopping and, no, I'm not flip-flopping. And, and I really, I touch lightly on it. I'm just kind of like, I'm letting the citizens of Dalton handle that and the YouTubers. Matter of fact, the YouTubers know more than I do, and I live here.
I stay out of it. Right.
Yeah.
I stay out of it. I don't comment about it on Facebook because I support her. And the bottom line is I don't live in Dalton. And whatever environment it is, whoever created the environment, that's for the residents of Dalton. They pay those taxes out there. I don't. They have to deal with the politics out there. I don't. They have to deal with the police force out there. I don't. I support her, and that's it.
Yeah, because me and her child's father is friends, but he stay out of it. He don't comment and anything. He stay out of it. He's not a supporter of her. Well, but he stay out of it. He don't get into it. All the stuff that you hear about Dalton and all that. So, I mean, she have changed. I'm not gonna lie. From the first time I met Tiffany, she is not the same person at all. She's not. Now I'm not.
She's not.
She never promised me anything. Let's get that clear. Tiffany never promised me anything. She don't owe me no position or anything, not like that. So I don't have a skin in the game. Some people she probably promised them something, they didn't get it, and they feel like a double cross, so they end up neck. And listen.
Absolutely.
She made some mistakes. I'm gonna tell you, she definitely made some mistakes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she definitely. So I mean, like I tell people,
it's
everything.
Just that, Martin.
Go ahead.
It's just that for me, I support her because, like you say, the facts. Because I've watched the board meetings. The board meetings and the cow meetings. I've watched those meetings throughout her whole tenure. So that's why I'm a little more versed on it. And it's because of the board meetings and I've watched them and looked back and I've watched the committee meetings that when she put the trustees over certain committees. You know, I've watched the non-work. Nothing was done on those committees. They just started attacking her. So that's what I base my opinion of why I support her, because I've watched those meetings. So,
Well,
you know.
I mean, I fell out with Tiffany with the Alexa Wilson. When I seen that, I was just too done. The statement that she made, and she didn't.
I definitely think that was handled wrong.
She did not apologize or recant the statement. I was just so upset. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I was just like, I mean, she could have played the safe role and came out and say, "Hey, I give my condolences, apology to the family, what happened, and we're going to investigate this matter." You know, just I felt that could, yeah. So, you know, and let me just say this: if we have any Dalton people that live in Dalton that's on this live, you're more than welcome to call in. I welcome your call.
Yeah,
you know,
that would be good.
Yeah, that would be good, because I don't want nobody saying, you know, nothing that I'm not fair. I want to be fair when I'm reporting. You know, I want to be fair when I'm reporting, and that's exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I mean, I you know, it is what it is, people. We just have to be careful what we say. And I'm trying not to, you know, just like that Andrew Holmes thing. Now, everybody was saying Andrew Holmes was locked up in Dalton police station. People was going to the police station and saying he locked up and he just got arrested. You didn't see none of that come
Martin,
across.
They were saying both of.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right. They were saying both of them was.
They did say that.
The police they came and yeah.
Right.
So.
See, I wasn't part of that news.
Both of them was supposed to have been locked up.
See, I wasn't a part of that news. Yeah. Miss Lisa Marie, you're right. She did not apologize. She did nothing. You're right. You're right. Tiffany did nothing on that.
I definitely think that she made a misstep in the Alexis Wilson case.
Oh yeah,
I think she should have held her cards and definitely showed up at the parents' house. You know, gave her condolences. That's how I would. You know, but I'm not her. You know, and like I said, that was a misstep. She totally handled that wrong. Yeah.
And then there's so many lawsuits is pending too against the Dalton. You know, she fired the police chief. I don't know why she fired him. I don't know what went on. Chief Collins. I don't know. It just, man, you know, normally when a new administration come in, they bring their own people. But Chief Collins was fired by the old mayor, Raleigh. But she
brought him back.
Yes, she brought him back. She did bring him back.
She sure did.
She brought him back. She did do that. You know. Now what they fell out about, I don't know. What was the deal?
I'm gonna tell you this, Martin. That was something ethical.
Okay.
That was something ethical.
Oh, okay.
Because, like you said, he was fired by Riley, right? Which was the mayor before her. But she brought him back. She sure did.
Yeah,
now, you remember, if we go back up under Lori Lightfoot and Superintendent Johnson, you remember when he was forced to resign, it was over what? Something ethical, right?
Yeah. You're right.
So that's what I believe that was about.
Okay. So it was a lot of things. I mean, we knew that some mistakes was going to be made. Definitely, most definitely. That definitely was going to happen, you know. Now, then they have accused her of mishandling funds and stuff like that. So I understood that because of the foundation that counted at $10,000. You know, then she claimed that she didn't know who was the people, you know. Somebody said Chief Collins.
I'm not
right.
I'm not real clear about, but what I am clear about is how the trustees went to the bank and had her removed from the bank account. And she took them to court and she lost that. One of the trustees went down with the clerk, had her removed from the bank account, and put themselves on the bank account.
See, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
She went, yes, she went to court, and the court ruled in her favor, saying that how can y'all, you can't do that. So they had her removed. They had her put back on the bank. It's in a board meeting. They had her put back on the board on the bank account and had this trustee removed from the bank account. That's some ethical stuff right there.
Mm-hmm. Now I know another thing.
But like I said, all of those board meetings are on YouTube, and you can go and watch that. That's in the meeting.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people didn't know that.
Wow. Yeah. I mean,
So if you really, really want to, form your own judgment or opinion, you have to go back and watch the board meeting. Okay. It's all right there.
Let's read this.
And if people,
somebody said that Chief Collins was fired because he questioned why she needed so many on her police detail, which took officers away from his workforce. Okay. Yeah, it's a lot going on. I mean, the YouTubers are going crazy, boy. They getting information, man. Where they getting information, man? They getting some lot of information stuff. I know. Yeah.
Well, they do a lot of sensationalism too, So I don't really tell. I just, I'm just different, Martin.
Mm-hmm, I
always and even with Chief Collins, I remember the board meeting that when they had put out the information about the officers with 400 hours or 4,000 hours, where he explained that in the board meeting, that's like overtime, not for one or two officers, but it was over a period of 2 years for all the officers on the force, because at the time they were shorthanded. And he explained that, and which I couldn't understand, because he explained that at the board meeting, and then I think the next day he was fired.
Wow.
So I was like, oh, okay, that's why I'm saying, I'm like, that has to be ethical. And I did see an interview where he was saying that he was fired because he was asking her, about, he was having an issue with so many police being on her detail when he needed the police on the street. I saw that interview. But right before he was fired, he explained the overtime, and it was over a course of 2 years, because, Tiffany hired at least about 5, sworn in, at least about 5 new police in Dalton, because they were so short-staffed. And like I said, you can always just, go to a Village of Dalton, to their YouTube page, and then just, go back. You may have to go back a year and a half, but all of that information is right there in their board meeting.
Okay. All right. We spent
all of it is right there on YouTube.
We spent the first hour on Tiffany. We take. I want to talk about the police shooting that happened last month, because basically we were just talking about local news and stuff like that. So I just got a text saying that there was 96 rounds in that police shooting. 96 rounds. Now, how many times he was struck in the body, I don't have that information, but it was 96 rounds. That's a lot of rounds. Now we're talking about the police shooting on the west side. They happened on the west side. So I would say this.
CPD probably did some things that wasn't right. It's a possibility that a lawsuit might go through, but as of right now, they have not filed for they have not filed yet for a lawsuit. So what they're doing now is they're trying to get the people riled up and put pressure on Copa them to release the video. So I don't know, like I said,
it will be released tomorrow, like we said.
Yeah. Well, I definitely want to look at it 2 or 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times before, and I'm quite sure I'm going to find some things that's wrong. And you know what puzzles me, Dr. Davis and Helen? Did this guy actually shoot at the police? What happened? Was he shot? I want to know. I want to know. I really want to know.
Yeah.
I really want to know
we're going to find out because so many people was on the other night.
Right. So
and that it's not going to be released out soon, and we knew it was going to be released. But they came out today on TV. The chief came out and said that they'll be released tomorrow morning.
Right. But normally, how COPA works, they normally put up a sign and let you know a day or two. They will do that in the past. I know their pattern. But you're right. We said it Tuesday. Got out.
Marcus.
Yeah. We got Marcus on here. Marcus, go ahead. Marcus, go ahead.
Yeah. I saw one of the activists.
Hold on, Marcus. Hold on. Mr. Johnson, it's echoing really bad. It's been echoing since Helen been on there. You can hear us double.
Okay. What about now?
Okay, say something. It's fine now. Okay, perfect.
Okay, perfect. Okay, go ahead.
So I saw one of the activists on Instagram. He posted that the tape is supposed to be released tomorrow at 9 a.m.
Okay.
I don't know how true that is. I haven't been watching the mainstream media because there's been a lot of other stuff going on in this city today. But I saw that on, and you know who it is. I saw it on his Instagram.
Okay,
and he's stating that he wasn't back down. He's not going to hold nothing back because the city trying to probably hold some stuff back. He wants people to know the truth and that this tape is due to be released tomorrow at 9 a.m. In the morning.
Now, let me just say this,
Marcus, this morning
publicly. Let me say this, Dr. D, publicly. I'm quite sure that CPD, I'm hearing that it was supposed to be a regular routine traffic stop. Now, I don't think everything went the way it's supposed to went. My main concern, number one thing, I want to find out, did he shoot that pistol that he had? If not, where was the pistol at? It's a lot of things that I just need to know. And you shoot 96 rounds, oh my God, that's a lot of rounds. 96? Wow. That's
overkill.
Yeah, that's 96 rounds. Woo.
That's a scared police officer.
Yeah.
That's shooting scary to unload. That's overkill.
Somebody said it was plain clothes. So listen, people, I don't know all the details.
Multiple police officers.
Listen, I don't know all the details, Helen. Right now, we trying to figure it out. And even when the video come out, I need to look at it at least 4, 5, 6 times. I'm quite sure they're going to be showing like multiple angles and stuff like that. We need to look at it. 96 times, people. Wow, that's all war. That's our war.
That's more than Laquan McDonald.
Right. Yeah,
that's crazy. 96 times. I think that's what people gonna be looking at. Even if the person shot at the Chicago police, do they have to shoot that many times?
Well,
1 or 2 will kill somebody.
Yeah, if you hit them though, you got to hit them.
Yeah.
So we didn't hear, but let me just say this, man. There's have not been no federal lawsuit filed yet either. that I know of. I think its age was like 26 or 27. Yeah. So it was a black man that got shot in the wrist. So, you know, in the wrist. So we know that. Okay. Whew. So we're looking, Dr. D, you got anything to say about this? I think you talked to one of the relatives. I think so.
Yes, and they still determined, they're still stating that he did not have a gun. So we have to see the video. She is still claiming that he did not have a gun. So how true is that? We do not know until we view the video, and I don't know if we will be able to see some shooting on the video. I don't know how far they're going to take us. What are they going to cut out in the video? Because you best to believe they're going to cut something out of that video.
Oh, they never, listen, they always going to do that.
They're going to edit it. Well, they already done edited it. That car was rid of bullets. That white car was just rid of it. It was ridiculous. So I have nothing else to say about it until, because the family member, they can say whatever they want to say until we all look at the videos. No, until we have the facts, as you stated, we need to see the facts. And the young man seemed to have too much of a bad background, not too much of it. But it's so unfortunate that they had to shoot up at the car 96 times, which I believe was more than one police officer shooting.
Of course.
So we have to wait and see and get the facts first.
Right.
The facts first, because they are trigger happy now. So if they see a gun, they're going to start shooting.
Right. Did hey Marcus, real quick, or Helen, did you guys now I got a flyer that is supposed to be a press conference tomorrow evening at 6:00, I think on the west side. Did anyone on here hear anything about the family? Any response from the family? Said what they witnessed in the video? Anyone?
Not me.
Martin,
Yeah.
I did read something on the young lady's page. She wrote this. She was saying a press conference, that they were having 2 press conferences tomorrow at 12 p.m. in the back of the Copa building on Chicago Avenue in Ashland. And then the second one would be at 6 p.m. at 11 District Headquarters.
That's the one I know about.
3150 West Harrison. Now, this is what she said. No matter what the situation was, tomorrow will show you all how CPD really are. They executed my brother and fired over 60 shots at him, even after he tried to surrender. One officer emptied his clip 3 times and continuously shoots him numerous of times. My brother could have lived. Long live D-Lo. I love you, baby brother.
Okay. Now, let me say this as a black man. CPD, and when you shoot at them, if this is the case, they're not going to let you surrender. Only way you're going to be able to surrender, even when the SWAT team come, if they know you watching, if people watching, they might let you surrender. So I'm gonna hold my judgment until tomorrow and look at the video. And it's, so the young man tried to surrender. Oh wow.
Now I'm thinking that maybe the family saw the video today.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Now, I got another call. I see you, Sharice. What's the purpose of having a press conference behind Copra office unless they're not agreeing with the tapes?
See, I don't know.
Okay.
And this is from a young lady that's saying that she is he was her brother.
Okay. Okay.
And then let me just try to.
That's the
There
same one.
was
That's the
list
same one I
of,
spoke to.
joined.
Right. We got. Okay.
There
Let's.
was a list of.
Helen, while you finding that, let me go
I'm
to this
sorry.
next caller. 3699. We just had another caller come in too.
Hey, Martin.
Hey, go ahead.
I just have a few questions. And the first question, I have a few questions. The first question is the age of the officers, the first officer. I want to know about that because this young man was 26 or 27. Is there a history between this young man and this officer? Because there's something in the midst. Something is not selling. I'm not going to pass judgment, but I'm just saying something is not adding up. I understand that there was a traffic stop, a routine traffic stop, but why? What was the reason that they need this officer pulled this car over? There's something that's not making sense to me. I'm not passing judgment. I just. How old are these officers? The first one that pulled him over. I read in the comments that someone said that these were plain clothes. So if it was plain clothes, usually plain clothes is 2, maybe 4, depending on what they're on. So I'm trying to understand. I just have questions about that. What time of day was it? Were the officers already on the block? Were they sitting on the block? Why? What were you? It's just so many questions. Does this young man, the victim, the deceased, is there a history with one of those officers? Were they around the same age? Did they go to the same school? What is going on? Had they had some beef before? Was this young? I just need to know. It's a lot of questions because this is excessive for a routine traffic stop. Over 60 shots.
No, 96.
And yes, I understand.
96 rounds. 96 rounds.
96 rounds that were fired. So there's something going on there. This is just more. In my spirit, I feel like there's more than just a traffic stop going on here.
I'll say this.
Somebody got a hard on for somebody.
Right. Well, I'll say this. It's definitely probably something was done wrong on the CPD part. But what's going to kill everything is by him returning fire. And that's hard. It's hard. It's hard to shake that.
Well, who fired first? Who are they saying fired first?
Right. I don't know. We got to find that out. I'm not sure.
How did you know there was a gun in the car?
Right.
How did you know there was a gun in the car?
Well, they said it was a weapon found, and they said an officer was shot. That's the police narrative. So we got to go with that until otherwise we prove them wrong. We got to go with that until.
So if it was a traffic stop, did they see the gun? See, it's not making sense to me.
Right.
What was the reason you pulled the car over?
Right.
One more thing, Mark. You're the only one that's not echoing, so you know. She's echoing and it's going out really bad now again.
Oh, okay.
Okay, what about now?
We still hear you. We still hear the echo.
Okay, what about now?
Questions. I'm not judging.
Okay.
Someone else say something other than Martin. You don't.
I'm not judging. I'm not judging. Okay. I'm just asking questions. I have questions.
Okay.
I'm not passing judgment.
No, we got to see the.
Understand.
Well, the thing is, we have to see the video before we can really come to a final determination anyway.
But even if we see the video, they're going to say what we see. But the question is, what was the urgency in this traffic stop?
We don't know. Well, we know
Why was it so urgent for you to pull this car over?
Well, we know that that was a special unit too as well. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, hold it right there. Let me go to the next caller real quick. 0123. Then we got Bill coming up next.
How you doing, Martin? Real quick. I just want to say I just hope this young man didn't shoot at the police. I mean, why he got pulled over and the relationship between him and the officer, kind of like here and there. That's water under the bridge.
No, it matters.
If he shot at them,
It matters.
if he shot at them, if he shot at them, you can. Well, okay, I ain't here to argue. But all I'm saying is that if he shot at the police, and now 96 rounds is expensive, but you know when you got 9 different officers on the scene, it can happen so fast, man. That's all I'm saying. I hope that it didn't happen like that.
So so was it 9 different officers that pulled
I know it was.
over,
I think it was.
or were
4.
those officers
I think it was
called?
4. I think it was 4. I think.
Okay, so there's 5 more officers that were called.
See, the thing is, people, we're talking not really with facts. We just hear. We have to wait till the facts come out. I know. So we can't assume now. We just can base it on fact. That way you can.
Not judging.
I know. I mean, we all judge. I'll judge.
I would want to be a police officer.
Right.
The way this stuff is going on in Chicago, it's not enough money to pay me to be a police officer.
Well,
You're out of your mind.
See, what I'm saying is,
I see what they go through. We all see it.
That anybody know that if you shot 96 times 96 rounds, maybe, you know, that, I mean, that's excessive. We know that.
They wanted him dead.
Right. They want definitely that.
They wanted him dead.
Definitely. That is definitely that. But see, the thing is,
no, they wanted him dead.
Yeah. And Bobby said that the officer could have been hit by friendly fire coming from so many officers firing in that direction. That's a possibility. That is a possibility. So
or we can even go this way. What did he know? Did he know something? I mean, there's a lot of questions.
I mean, with that right there, I'm not concerned. The only thing I'm concerned about what the video show right now. Then we can base it to something else. We got to get the facts. We got to know why you stopped them, how many people was in the car, in the officer car, how did the altercation start? Right. You know,
I want to know how old the officer that engaged him first, or I need to know how old those officers were that engaged him first.
You probably would never know that.
Working in that area.
Well, I heard.
What high school did they go to? Because somebody knows somebody. This is personal.
Right. I heard it was a white cop.
That's what I heard. It's a white cop too. A white cop that did shoot unload.
Reloading.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But that's not who pulled him over at first. I heard.
I heard it was black police officers who pulled him over, but they only pointed out the white cop who shot numerous times, so you know that his clip.
Yeah.
Well, we'll know all this tomorrow, people.
Officer.
So we'll know a lot tomorrow. We'll know a lot tomorrow. We're definitely right. Okay, Bill, go ahead, Bill. You next.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. My recollection from seeing the news clip on WGN, it was 4 officers, which would mean each one of them had to shoot over 20 times. And my recollection also remembers that they said that the officers that were involved had like 5 or 6 years on the force.
They were young.
Yeah.
They were young.
They didn't
so
say
they were in his age.
They had like 5 to 6 years on the force. It raised the eyebrows to me because of the way that the car was a small white, looked like SUV, riddled with bullets, and it turned the corner and made contact with a parked car that was parked right at the corner. So it wasn't adding up to me. I was suspicious from hearing it. As far as him having a gun, that if you don't see him shooting a gun, they don't show him shooting a gun, pointing a gun. They've been known to plant guns for years.
My thing is this, Bill. How did they know a gun was in the car on a traffic stop? How did they know the gun was in the car? How? What was the reason the car was pulled over?
Well, see, listen, that's why we have to find out tomorrow through the proof. That it's going to have to come out. but so far,
Those questions are never going to be answered.
a federal lawsuit have not been
really
filed.
Need to see this.
Right.
We really need to see the tape. At the same time, I'm gonna just say this:
all of it, not bits and pieces, all of it.
But a lot of these cops are crooked and they're corrupt. And
well, how long had the unit been sitting on that block? That's something I need to know.
That was a special unit, though.
How long was they sitting on that block, though? And what time? Is this a regular time that this young man came out of his house? How long were they sitting on that block?
Well,
waiting for him to come out.
My number one thing is I want to know if this gentleman shot at the police. That's number one. Then I can base. Then when I find that out, who shot first? That's what I want to know. Those are the first things I want to know. That's the first thing I really want to know.
Questions.
Then we can base it.
If
we got to
shot first. Then I can understand.
Right. So, but I'm not. Hold on. I'm not ruling out that the police didn't do anything wrong. I'm not ruling that out now. Not ruling that out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely not ruling that out.
It's a lot of questions, but like you say, we have to see the video.
Yeah, we have to see the video, and I'm gonna tell you.
I'm not judging.
Yeah.
I'm just asking.
Well, I'll tell you this: if a Chicago police pull you over, and they see a gun visible, they're not gonna be asking no question. They're probably gonna start shooting because they're so nervous. Scary. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna see, Bill. We're gonna see tomorrow. We're gonna look at the tape. We're gonna look at the tape.
You know something that always kind of bothered me with these releasing of these police tapes. Why can't they be released immediately? That if the officer is whether he's at fault or not, the tape is what the tape is. To me, holding the tape gives them a chance to doctor the tape.
Yeah.
Well, that's when
That's what they're supposed to do.
It's not fair at all.
They don't want to put everything out there. That's what COBA do. You have to protect them. The union is going to protect them.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly, Dr. D.
This has been going on for years.
And it's not fair.
Going on for years.
It should be able to be released immediately. It doesn't matter about protecting the police department and them being sued. It's about a person's right.
Well,
but
did they say what type of gun the officer was shot with?
Yesterday, some young guys had a shootout, and the police got caught in the crossfire. Now they went and got surveillance tape, and they released that immediately. Immediately.
Was this a extended clip, a switch gun that the deceased had? What type of gun did the officer get shot with? Because we all know that
they didn't say all that
different calibers take
you gotta
same bullets.
But listen, Sharice, now you asked a lot of questions that we probably
not going to.
Yeah, right.
I know.
You're not gonna, the main thing is we need to know. First thing we need to know who fired first. Did he have a gun? That's what we need to know. Now, not taking away that the police did some, because see, I'm gonna tell you, CPD can bait you, people. They can bait you into do things. They know how to push your buttons. They know how to push your buttons. Now it's a burden of proof on the.
That, Mark,
go ahead.
Speaking of exactly what you said, case in point, if it was a plain car and they drove up fast and this young man is concealed and carry, why wouldn't he shoot at him? Why wouldn't he not shoot at him? It's a lot of instances, but the main thing I said, backing up what Martin was saying, they could bait you. Oh, okay.
No, go ahead,
I
Bill.
think that they don't know you conceal carry.
No, that ain't what he said.
Say that again, Sherry. But they do know if you conceal carry. So once they pull up on you and they run your license plate, they know you conceal carry. Because they do that to me. They used to do that to me all the time. They would ask me, "Do you have your gun on you?" I said, "No."
No, that ain't what he said. What he said was he said the young man in the car, if the police were plain clothes and they pulled up on him and he was concealed carry and he started shooting at them in self-defense because he's not knowing who they were, then that's what he was saying.
Mm.
Yeah. Backing up what
if you go
Mark
to
saying
concealed carry class,
they can bait you.
They can bait you, definitely bait you.
But that's true. But if you go to a concealed carry class, you would know that you don't just pull your trigger right then and there. You have to think first. You got to use a lot of sense. Period.
Mm-hmm.
You know who's following you. You know if the police is following you. Period. That's why I keep telling these young folks, stop pulling out your gun, and you have to pay attention. You have to be aware of your surroundings. You know those were police officers. Period. But what are you running for? What are you pulling out a gun for? I don't know if this is the case with this young man. All I know is the young man is deceased. Period. We just have to wait until the video come out, which will come out because I kept saying yesterday the video will be out on Tuesday morning. And I was right. And the chief came on this morning and said, yes, the video will be released tomorrow. But we just have to wait and see. And all those news conferences are going to take place tomorrow as well. And hopefully that, you know what I'm curious of, and then I'll stop. So I'm curious to how many body cameras are we going to get to see? That's what I'm curious of.
Sure.
1, 2, 3. Go ahead. 1, 2, 3.
My question is, if we do see this video, and we say the young man shot first, do we still feel as though 96 bullets is excessive, and will there still be?
I mean, I think 96 rounds is a little excessive. I mean, personally,
That's a lot.
That is a lot. I mean, I'm just being honest. You know, I'm being honest. I understand that's just a lot. That is a lot.
That's a lot.
It's a lot.
Did they say how many times he had been hit? If it was 96 rounds fired, how many times was he hit?
I didn't get that information. I'm just.
No, I guess they're gonna mention that tomorrow. Yeah.
So.
Wow.
So. And it's a lot, but I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Even though it's just me. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Dr. D. I want to hear what you had to say. Now I'll say it after you.
If somebody run up on me, I'm gonna empty my clip on them. That's just me.
I agree.
But it shouldn't take four officers to shoot one man. It's just not. Unless this man had a machine gun and he was just hitting it to everybody, I think that was extreme. And and there's too much firing. These officers they already want to shoot anyway. That's why I tell people you have to be really careful. Go ahead, Mr. Johnson.
Okay, yeah. So again, I said publicly, I believe that the officers probably did something wrong yesterday. I mean, during the shooting. Yeah. So now, do I believe that a riot is going to break out? Probably not. If they say, if they said that he had a gun, he would shoot back at the police. Most people, especially black people, that's what he get. That's what he deserved. I mean, that's the attitude that not all black people have. So, I know the family's grieving right now, and they probably watching. I still get my condolences out to the family as well, and to the officers that got shot. But it's a lot of questions that need to be answered.
I have a lot.
Yeah, a lot. But again, let me say this to y'all young black men, older men. You're not going to win when you're shooting it out with the police. Just not going to win. Now, you might kill one or two, but eventually they're going to get you. Yeah. You're not going to win. Definitely not going to win. That is a lot. 96.
They're not going to show no kind of mercy on you.
No.
They're not gonna they're not gonna allow you to surrender. You know, they're not gonna shoot you one time and say they're gonna shoot you till you're dead.
Eliminate the threat.
Yeah, that's what they're trained to do.
Yeah.
And we already under the 8 ball, so we just gotta. I feel like we gotta deal with them a little differently. You know, I hate to say it like that.
Yeah. So people, so tomorrow, what we're gonna do? We're gonna be back here tomorrow, and I'm gonna show the video, and we're gonna go over it slow, and we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna ask some questions. That's what we're gonna do. You know, that's what we're gonna do tomorrow. I'll upload the video, go on the site, and we just look at it. We got a lot of questions to ask people. You know.
Well, can I say something, Martin?
Yeah.
Bill did say that the thing that these officers have in common is that they've all been on the force 5 to 6 years. So if you add it up, you have to be 21 to be an officer. So let's start at 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. So that puts them all within the same age group, around the same age group. So that's questionable. And you have to live in the city of Chicago to be a Chicago officer. Their age group. That's why I'm asking, is there a history?
Yeah, well.
Somebody knew that boy, that young man. Somebody knew him. And one of them they knew him. And I want to know how
I don't
long
know about that,
that
Sharice.
unit.
I don't know about that.
I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
I want to know how long the unit had been on the block.
Right. You know, they said it was a tactical
How long
unit.
had the unit been sitting on the block?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
We need to find out the real reason.
Out of his mother's house, right?
Yeah, we don't know if all that's factual. All this is hearsay, people. Until the facts are presented in front of us, then we can work with what we got. You know. Now we know there's 96 rounds. We know the young man is 26 or 27 years old. We know the officer that got shot in the wrist is black. We know that it was other officers, white officers, that unloaded a clip and reloaded and shot again. So, these are facts that we do know. We know the man is dead. Now we need to see what we can put together with sound on the camera. We're gonna try. This is what we got to try to do. We got to trust the process, people. And I believe that the officers probably done something wrong. They probably baited him in. You know, we need to see who shot first.
Well, also, Martin, they show us every day on TV, on the TV shows. They mimic reality. That you have some of these officers, I'm not saying these were the ones, but you have a lot of crooked officers out here that's involved in that street life, and you never know. You never know.
Yeah, like Bobby said, one thing we did see is definitely an overkill. 96 rounds. 96 rounds. So there wasn't no surrender. They make sure he was dead. He won't listen. They make sure he wasn't gonna do no talking.
Absolutely.
So tomorrow, people, we're going to get focused. We'll come back tomorrow and we'll try to evaluate and break this tape down. And man, hope we can get some answers, Bill and Sharice and Helen and Dr. Davis and 123 and Marcus. Hope we get some answers tomorrow. So 96 rounds. I just got that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So.
Well, we'll know in a few hours.
I would like to know. I would like to know how many body cams we're going to see, because if there's 4 or 5 or 6 officers there, we should be able to review all body cams. But in the beginning, during the shooting, we should be able to see all of them. But I'm sure they're not going to show us all of them. They're going to show us what they want us to see.
Of course. Of course. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, people. As the church folks say, as they say, as all hearts and minds clear. Anybody want to say anything before we get off here? Helen, anybody want to say? Marcus, because I'm out of here.
Just everyone be patient and just wait for the video and just use your head. That's all. Respond with
I agree.
intellect and not emotion, because
You guys
that's
hear me?
just gonna make it worse.
Mm-hmm.
Respond with intelligence and not emotion. You have to see the video, and even after you see it, just use your head. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Don't go out here.
Like Martin Johnson said. Go ahead, Bill.
And I said, no, I know it's going to be protesting this market. It's going to be protest regardless. They're going to protest even if the cop was in the right. They're going to protest because we are type of people. We are an emotional type of people at times. And there's going to be young people out there that will act stupid regardless. It's an opportunity for them to act stupid, and they'll take advantage of that opportunity like they did with
Exactly.
Dr. Davis.
One suggestion I will give everyone, as Mr. Johnson stated, is not just to watch it one time. Watch it 4 to 5 times, because every time you watch a movie, you always find something different in it, right?
Right.
So you're going to find something different in this particular video. So watch it 4 to 5 times until you are able to make it make sense. If that makes sense. Make it make sense. And then that's when you think outside the box. You use your critical thinking skills and don't just jump to conclusions. That's when we'll come back tomorrow night and we'll all discuss it. Just don't react to it. Please, people, do not react to it. They're your children. And anyone you know, do not react to it, because that's where the problem comes in at. As Bill say, we react with emotions, and we cannot afford that in this city. We have enough problems going on.
I think they might as well get prepared for the looting, because either way that video goes, it's going to be some static tomorrow when they release it anyway.
But we hope not. They're hoping not. But we hoping not. We're going to pray on that we don't have that. And we don't need anyone, especially on Mark Johnson platform, encouraging it, period. We do not want no looting in this city. We do not need no fighting. No, none of that. If they're going to protest peacefully and go home. We don't need all that in this city. We have enough going on here, period.
Tearing up people's property and stuff like that. We just don't need it, people. I'm sorry.
I'm telling you, hell, I pay taxes. We all do. The time for these kids tearing up my stuff and everybody else's stuff? No.
I'm quite sure we all have bank accounts and we have to use them ATMs at some point in time, and they will hit them ATMs.
I know, right?
And then we
will hit the bank too.
And the store.
Well, the police are going to be prepared. Let's say that too.
The United Center tomorrow. Please don't come up to the United Center tomorrow.
The police going to be in the streets. They're going to be ready. So know that.
Yeah.
They are going to be out there barricading, armed and ready for foolishness.
They have to be. Because they have to.
Now, what would be nice if anybody that's listening or on the panel to reach out to somebody in his family and have them call and get on Martin's shows tomorrow. That would be kind of cool.
I tried that.
They're not ready.
No, I tried that, and as she stated, they are not ready. But I suggested for her to come on after we review the video. Give us a couple of days and let us review the video. Now, if Mr. Johnson states that if he sees that the young man shot first, then that's up to him to allow her to come on his platform and discuss that, because in her mind, he didn't have a gun. So we cannot, I didn't want to invite her yet until Mr. Johnson make that decision once he see the video, say, yay or nay, I don't want to cause no controversy, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. I back down and say, okay, let's allow us to let Mr. Johnson review this video first, Then let him make the decision if you want to come on still, because in her mind, once again, because I spoke to her, she stated that my brother didn't have a video. A gun. She's still standing with that. And I told her, well, allow Mr. Johnson to review the video first in time, and then he'll make a decision. And then if he feels fit for you to come on and talk to the panel, that's up to him. And I'll left it at that, because we don't want to just bring her on. Then it's a controversial problem. Then now Mr. Johnson got a problem with the police department. Need that. You don't need that headache. Period. Don't need it.
Dr. D, from your conversation with her, what you just said, that lets me know, or leads me to believe that he didn't have a firearm card or conceal and carry.
Yeah. That's what she said. Yeah, that's what now have a gun. That's what she said. So I don't know. I'm letting Mr. Johnson, it's his platform. Let him make that decision.
Well,
and I'll give him her number.
We all gonna make the decision, because we all gonna look. We gonna compare notes, and don't just put me on the spot, a hot spot. We all gonna do it, because I want to listen. I want to because listen, Dr. D, you might see something I don't see. Sharice might see something I don't see. Marcus might see something I don't see, or vice versa, or Bill. So we all in this together, people. We just won't. Listen, don't say, listen, anybody know that I support the police when they right, but when they wrong, I get on their backside. So I'm going into this video with a mindset of, hey, who's right, what's right, did they do this right? That's the mindset that I'm going into this video with. I'm telling y'all. So I'm not going in there showing favoritism to no boys in the blue, or even this young man that lost his life. I'm going in there straight in the middle. I'm gonna say, okay, what's what? Let's see how this initiated. And I'll be waiting tomorrow.
Too bad we won't be able to see any footage from Ring cameras or any type of surveillance building or home.
We don't know. We don't know what the culprit.
No, man.
We don't know.
More than likely not. They're gonna.
They're not going to show us that.
They're gonna probably show us one body or two body cams.
Well, I take that back, people. From my experience, I've seen Copa show us footage from houses, people's homes and stuff like that. So we don't know what to expect tomorrow. So tomorrow, let us have our mindset, let us be ready, and have our critical thinking skills on. But what we do know, 96 rounds. Now I don't know if that's including rounds that he was shooting or just all the police. Oh my God, that's an overkill there though. 96 rounds. That was target practice, man.
Lord have mercy.
96 rounds. My goodness. I'm just saying, man. I ain't trying to stir up nothing. And you're right, Bobby. I've seen situations like this way. So we're gonna. I'm out of here, people. Somebody said Brandon Johnson is at home tonight preparing for his media press junket tomorrow, rehearsing it, how he will respond to this. Yeah. All right, people. Good night. You already know what it is. Live, uncut, and what? Unedited. Tell the truth.
Good night.
And shame the devil.